So we have another quadratic function to graph, so we're going to go through those steps, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so step 1. Is A positive or negative? It's positive, and so it's going to be upward. Step 2, got to find the axis of symmetry. So I need the opposite of B over 2A. So x equals, let's see, the opposite of 12 over 2 times 3, which is going to be x equals negative 2. Because 2 times 3 is 6. 6 goes into negative 12, negative 2 times. Okay, make sure I wrote all that right. And so my axis of symmetry, x equals negative 2, is going to be right there. Step 3, find the vertex. Well, the vertex is going to be negative 2 something. To find the something, we're going to find f of negative 2. So we go to the function and we plug in negative 2. So let's see, negative 2 squared is 4. So let's see, that 12 and that 12 kind of cancel each other out. So I'm getting negative 24, which is a little too big for my graph here. So it'd be way down. So you know what? I want to start counting by 2's here. So 2, 4, 6. I'll put a 6 there. 2, 4, 6. So I got to erase my axis of symmetry. It's not going to fit on there, so I have to change the scale on my graph. I don't really like to do that. You could get a bigger piece of graph paper, but I just have this little thing here. So now if I'm counting by 2's for each tally mark, that's going to move my axis of symmetry over here. Sorry about that. Okay, so we found the axis of symmetry. We found the vertex, which it's still going to be a little off, isn't it? So it's going to be way down here, like right there. And we know it's right side up. Don't let the 6 and negative 6 throw you. They're kind of in the way. I'll move them. Okay. So we'll just say this is counting by 20 and negative 20, and that'll move it out of the way a little bit. So I'm not counting by a grid of 10 by 10 in each direction, but rather 20 by 20 in each direction. Okay. Thank goodness they give you the graphs, the grids on the web assignment. All right, so we found the axis of symmetry. We found the vertex. We are pretty sure there are going to be X intercepts, right? Because we know it's an upward parabola. Okay, so let's find the y-intercept. So to find the y-intercept, it's f of 0, which is going to be negative 12. Now, if you're having trouble with that, it's 3 times 0 squared plus 12 times 0 minus 12. But see, this is going to be 0, and this is going to be 0. So it's just going to be negative 12. So the point 0, negative 12 is going to be the y-intercept. So negative 12, and I'm counting by 2's, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's like right there. Right there. Now, because we have symmetry, there's one on the other side, which is going to be right here. Doesn't want to make the little point for me. There it is. Okay. So, you know, it's kind of a skinny little parabola here. All right. Now we got to find the x-intercepts. So to find the x-intercepts, we're going to take the function 3x squared plus 12x minus 12 and set that equal to 0. Now, the first thing I would do is I would just divide everything by 3 because I can. And that's just going to make my number smaller. So x squared plus 4x minus 4. That's not going to factor. Whoops. Equals 0. Oh, it scooted over on me. Okay. Equals 0. So I can put it in the quadratic formula. So the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times the a, which is 1 now, times the c, which is negative 4, over 2 times a. So I get negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 16 over 2, which is negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 32. So they are real numbers, over 2. Okay, so we'll keep going a little bit here. That's going to be negative 4 plus or minus. Now 32 is 16 times 2, so it's going to be 4 times the square root of 2 over 2. And then if I factor out a 2, a positive 2, I get negative 2 plus or minus 2 square root 2. You might be saying, why didn't you factor out a 4? I was going to cancel those 2's. You could have factored out a 4. Okay, so this is what I get. I get one x-intercept at negative 2 minus 2 times the square root of 2, 0. That's going to be one x-intercept. And then the other x-intercept is going to be negative 2 plus 2 times the square root of 2, comma 0. Now, at this point, you should be saying, how are you going to graph that? You know what? I'm going to get a calculator, and I'm going to approximate then what is negative 2 minus 2 times the square root of 2. And I am getting about negative 4.8. So it's about negative 4.8, comma 0. And then I'm going to do negative 2 plus 2 times the square root of 2. And I do this on my calculator to get a decimal approximation. And I get 0.8, comma 0. So now I'm going to try to graph those x-intercepts. So one is about negative 4.8. Negative 4.8. So 2, 4. So maybe it's like right in there. Oops. Like right in there. And then the other one's going to be on the other side. It's going to be like right there. And you can kind of see it looks symmetric. It's really hard because my graph is so little. Who knew it was going to be such a long, skinny parabola? But it's going to look something like that. Okay? So it'll probably be a little bit easier in WebAssign to graph these, I hope, for you.